Alright everybody, welcome back to another Dead by Daylight video. So today we start our journey of looking through all of the new perks that got released with the new chapter. So first we're going to go over Undone, which I think is probably the worst perk in the entire chapter. And I think it's by design. But I played around with this perk a little bit on the Unknown himself and a couple killers I thought would actually get use out of it. So what does it do? Basically, whenever a survivor fails a skill check, you get 3 tokens up to a max of 30. Performing a damaging action on a generator, so kicking it, will instantly regress it by 1% per token, block it by 1 second per token, and cause the generator to start regressing once it becomes unblocked. It goes on cooldown for 60 seconds. So, in my mind, I was like, okay, well, I can run this on Impossible Skill Check Doctor and Impossible Skill Check Skull Merchant. So I tried it on the both of them, and so even with like impossible skill checks, I ended up getting 6 tokens max for the most part whenever I felt like I needed to kick a generator. So I was regressing it by an additional 6% per kick plus the 5, so it was more like 11%, and blocking it for 6 seconds. Not really that impactful. The only time this perk would ever be good is if it was 30 seconds all the time, but that's probably never going to happen. That would really be my only change, is maybe lower the token requirement to 15 from 30 like it is now, and just double the tokens. Maybe. I don't think there's really any way to make this perk good without making it super annoying and super overpowered. And I think that's fine. I think having perks like this that are kind of gimmicky is okay. If there's one thing I can say about the Unknown's perks at the very least is all of them seem to have a point, a purpose, and I can see builds that would run these. None of them are super meta-changing, which is fine. Not every perk needs to do that. Not every killer needs to bring a super meta-changing perk. But having perks that kind of just can be slotted into different builds and do different things like this. It accomplishes a goal, and it does it. The biggest problem this perk has, though, is the skill check failing requirement. A lot of good survivors don't fail skill checks. Even a lot of newer survivors don't fail skill checks. And even if you're running a build that kind of forces it, it's never guaranteed. This is a situation of you wanting your opponent to mess up for you to get value out of something. And that is not always the best thing for any game, really, but especially Dead by Daylight. The killer's job is 9 times out of 10 to capitalize on the survivor's mistakes, not necessarily their own skill. It's not to diminish skill or anything, but a lot of times it's predicting and causing the survivors to do something bad. Do I think it's absolutely awful and the worst perk in the game? No, not really. I just don't think we're going to see it very often apart from Doctor and Skull Merchant for the most part. But yeah, once again, I just think it's fine. It's okay. I don't really think we're going to see it very often, though. I would love it to get slightly buffed in the future. Like I said, maybe make it 2% per token and have the max amount of tokens. Maybe just so those 6 that you end up getting most of the time feel more impactful. I think that would be the only thing. Just because, like I said, skill checks don't get failed very often, so making each one that happens feel like it actually contributes just that little bit more would be nice. In any case, let me know what you guys think of Undone. I think it's the worst perk we got in the whole chapter on both sides. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you guys can change my mind. In any case, I love y'all. Have a good one. And yeah, bye.